a mask like this and try to save the world.
Photo of a cat on the Rubik's Cube. So that's the end.
Okay, this hero has to fight against a horde of cats.
She takes a tambourine and she dances around the dead cats.
Welcome to NYFA Real Talk. I'm Nikki Muller. I am surrounded by amazing talent, filmmakers, actors. They've all been nominated for the 7th National Youth Film Awards. It must have felt like a marathon getting these films done. Challenge of putting together a film like this that you've done in the middle of a pandemic. PS, that's a lot, right?
Yeah.
The production for my film took about like 9 months. Every single day was an overnight shoot because it's like one whole night. So we all had to be nocturnal and change our body clock completely just so that we can be alive for like the entire shoot. So it really felt like a marathon.
So what is the log line of your film?
In one single night, a taxi driver has to form a risk partnership with like a sex worker just to support his daughter. And that's pretty sad. By pushing himself, it kind of led to somewhere he didn't want to be. And in the end, it like got against his morality as well.
And I know that you've actually interviewed some sex workers, did you, in Geylang for this?
Yeah.
And what did they tell you about what it's like to actually work in this pandemic?
The sex workers in Geylang, like their personalities were actually reflected in the sex worker in my film. So, like, as you can tell, she is affected, but she's quite nonchalant about it because she wants to keep it professional. And that's what it's like for the sex workers, like in actual reality.
So I love this theme about family, which obviously is going to bring me to Alina's film, Mamma Mia, Reflections of a Housewife. I loved that you used so much, just so much of the home videos and let that tell the story. I mean, it's a documentary, it's so intimate. What did you guys think? Because that really touched me.
Yeah, for me, it was like very raw. It's something that I don't think I'd be able to do it, to be honest. That's why I thought it took so much strength to do it.
Yeah. I mean, kudos to my mom who agreed to do it. At first, she didn't feel like she was worthy to be a subject in a documentary. We all are kind of like told that we shouldn't be housewives, we should climb, we should hustle, we should get in the rat race, climb that ladder. But my film wants to bring value to the job of a housewife.
What was it like for you, a daughter, watching your mom at her most vulnerable, the woman who's literally a warrior woman and raised you?
You know what my fear is? Is that because I am a housewife, I fear that my daughters only want to be housewives.
Because she's very confident as a person, she's very open to sharing her life, like how she did with me and the camera. But actually, deep down, she has a lot of insecurities that I had no idea was there. Yeah, so I guess it's a little bit heartbreaking. Yeah, but it was also, I feel, an important story to tell because there are other women out there who probably feel the same way.
I actually quite liked the contrast she had also because there were also some shots like right after they had this like talking session, there would just be still shots of like the empty house and like empty roads. And I like that contrast of like showing there is some sort of like, in a way, loneliness to being a housewife, but there's also like life and like the bubbly side of being a housewife.
Absolutely fantastic what you did, the animated portion there, Another Day in Paradise. Okay, I was a little weirded out because I pressed play and all of a sudden my voice was there. That's me narrating.
Another Day in Paradise, this is just one part of it. This is part 5 of the series, so I actually have like 5 short films.
This is the one that was nominated. It happens to be the only animated one, right?
Yeah,
Which
correct.
is interesting.
Yeah, so I think there was a lot of combination of social issue that we were facing during this COVID situation. So I wanted to combine all of this article to make it into one story. So yeah, just into the future, pandemic still continue on. If we can't find any cure in it, what happens. Animation give me the room to express more for this episode. And I wanted to also experiment like doing animation because it's my first time.
And directing for animation, totally different, right?
It's totally different.
I felt like, even though it's for the future, I feel like now it's also like, it's a current affair, It's like, it does happen.
I mean, when I think of all your films, there's something about the connection and relationships that's really human about all the films that you guys have done. And the same, especially for Bulan, because it's this relationship with the beetle, but actually translates to something deeper.
So Bulan is a story about Izwan, a young Malay boy who recently lost his grandfather. He inherited his late grandfather's beetle named Bulan. So he keeps his grandfather's promise to pass down Bulan to someone who can take care of him. So his mom has no idea that Bulan is still with him. So is this the relationship between a kid and his mom? So Bulan the beetle is kind of like the anchor that brings everyone together, or not together.
Yeah, but it's that innocence, right? There's a lot of innocence that you kind of explore here, and the kampong life actually really comes to, which is so interesting here.
Kind of like a MRT train from Pasir Ris to Jukun, where slowly you pick up passengers, so slowly you pick up inspiration from different places. But weirdly enough, actually the whole singing, the melody came from my family. Because my family were taking care of our grandma, and my mom actually sings to my grandma.
Hatiku hilang, berilah aku.
Which I kind of like didn't realize it until after the film was made. It's hard for me to explain that it came from one inspiration, but it came from kind of everywhere.
What did you want people to take away from this film?
I would love for everyone to take a moment and not reflect, but more of speak to your loved ones. You know, it doesn't even have to be an "I love you." It can just be like, "Hey, how's it going?" or "What are you up to?"
Malam bulan di pagar bintang.
Ewa. Because we want our stories to be told and shown, and yes, it can affect other people, and move them, and that's what we want. We want to tell the stories to change people's lives. Most of our film we had to trial and error because, especially the beat up scenes.
Beat up scene is trial and error. How does that work?
So we basically punch each other but fake to pretend it on camera, and we tested everything all in one of our classrooms in school, and somehow that all worked out. So we just copy and pasted it into our scene.
The best part is, of course, when we see your films, we see the finished product. We have no idea of the craziness that happens behind the scenes. Is there anything you can share with us about your film, about a moment that was crazy, that was funny, that was challenging, but that really sticks out in your mind?
So I'm directing Mandarin, even though I'm a Eurasian of Malay, so I only speak English and Malay, and my Malay is trash. So this entire film was a challenge to even shoot. Because half the time when the actors are saying their lines, I don't really know what they're saying. So they might go off a bit, but then I do have people checking up on that. So my main goal while directing was to really focus on their performance throughout the entire thing.
When I did the casting for the beetle, so I had two beetles, a male and a female. So the male beetle is the one you saw, Bulan. So I actually had to take care of two of the beetles. I slept on a mattress, on the floor on a mattress, and I have the kind of what do you call it? The cage right beside me. Bintang, at night she would just be crawling on top of it. Whereas Bulan was just she's just chilling there. So I kind of wish that I kind of casted the other beetle.
Because with animation, it's fun when you can you got a lot of way to be imaginative. So I had to take into consideration whatever changes I make. They have to do it. They go through a long process, and I don't have the luxury of time. Just this few seconds, I wanted this. No, few seconds means I have how many thousands of frames, that kind of thing that I need to change.
Yeah, I have a question. After you've been through all this, right?
Yeah.
Would you do it again?
Yes, I will. But give me more time, please.
Yes, we will give you all the time you want.
No timeline.
And with that, thank you so much for being a part of NYFA Real Talk. Congratulations, awesome directors, ladies and gentlemen. Keep making amazing films. Goodbye. He's so quiet, why?
Bye.